Good afternoon, beautiful people. Happy Friday. Welcome to Arise with Jessica Carey. And this week we are exploring the beautiful blue hue of blue tansy, which is actually a yellow flower that turns blue within the steam distillation process, which is really, really cool. So this little bottle of love has been just released into the AU warehouse from convention last month, and I want to show you the color of this. I'm going to turn myself into a bit of a smurf, I think. We'll see how this goes. It'll be funny when I watch it later anyway. So I've just got a little bit of fractionated coconut oil in my hand, and then I'm going to put one. You would have seen that drop. And then I'm going to turn myself into so I'm a little bit smurfy. If I would have put it on straight, I would have been blue. So my musings for this week for blue tansy is it's really beautiful for the skin. It really helps with supporting any pigmentation and blemishes on the skin. I'm not going to turn my skin blue, I've decided, because I have something on tonight, and depending on your skin it can stay on for different periods of time. It does fade, but I always use it overnight before sleep. So drop of this with your moisturizer or a little bit of jojoba oil is really beautiful and restorative for the skin overnight. And I found that because it also comes from a chamomile flower, it's really calming. So chamomile, as we know, is really good for calming the body and the nervous system. I found popping that on my face overnight is really beautiful as well. I'm just going to put lids on because I'm generally going to knock something over. So I want to share my biggest musing on blue tansy this week, and it's been, again, tapping into that emotional and energetic level. I've loved using it for skin. The skin properties for that is amazing, and I've also loved using that for its soothing benefits in aromatic dressing. So mixing that with some rose or some geranium as a beautiful aromatic anchor. And it is the actual one of the oils that makes up our blend of deep blue and our balanced blend. So it's what makes both of those blends blue in color. So it's has a very soothing property for the skin and for the muscles. So, but what I love about blue tansy, and it was quite ironic this week again, how my week unfolded. And blue tansy is the oil of inspired action. So what I want you to do is just feel into a time when you felt so alive, so full of spark, so full of enthusiasm, so full of vitality, where you were so inspired to make action, to take action, whatever you were moving forward towards. And then I'd love you to tune into a time when you had to do an action, but it didn't feel inspiring for you. It felt heavy and dull, and you felt drained and lethargic. And as you're feeling into the first one, which is when you feel inspired and joyful in making any form of action, where does that go in your body? Where does it light you up? Where does it make you feel amazing and like you want to do more of it? And then when you feel into action, where it's coming from a space of feeling drained and sluggish and tired and like you really don't want to do it, how does that feel in your body? Where does that go in your body? And by being aware of the difference, it's what actually can support us in making inspired action in our life. So we've always got so many choices to make each day. We've got so many action steps that we can make towards something, towards a goal, a dream, a desire, or even just what we're going to eat. And if you're feeling really inspired, really encouraged to move towards that dream, it's a lot easier to make those steps. It's just like when you've got a goal with fitness. If you're feeling really inspired to move towards that goal, it seems so much easier to get it done. But when you're feeling not inspired to create that. I know for myself, I've played a lot of team sport over the years, and when I know I have a goal or an event to come to, I'm really inspired to train, to get up there, to do as much as I can to be at my best peak performance when I need to perform. That's the same with anything in life. But when I didn't have an actual target or inspired goal that I was really clear on, or that was intentfully joyful and happy and I felt incredible moving towards it, then what I find happens is going on that journey towards that is never as enjoyable. So what I love about this is inspired action is something I have witnessed even within myself that can be lost really quickly, and many can stay stuck in their circumstances in actually taking no action. No action, no step forwards towards anything. But what we don't realize a lot of the time is that taking no step at all is actually an action step. Doing nothing or not taking a step forward or not moving in the direction of your dreams, even if it's a little bit at a time, it doesn't have to be leaps, but in small, tiny baby steps. If we're not doing that, we're choosing to stay stuck. We're choosing to stay in a space of not claiming what we're inspired and here to do for the world or this planet. So I invite you to use Blue Tansy, or if this is something that you feel you need support in, connect with me. I would love to support you in receiving your own bottles of love and your own oils to support your everyday life. But manifesting your passion into action in each moment of your day, so you know that each time you move towards a goal, a dream, a desire that you have in your life, that it comes from a space of inspiration, that it comes from a space of aliveness, and that it comes from a space of vitality. Because when it's coming from the opposite of that, we can constantly put ourselves in a backward step, we get setbacks, and then for some personalities, you can just stay stuck in it. I personally am someone who have always generally overcome challenges, whether they're emotional, physical, practical, whatever, and then I keep aiming towards it, even if it's a little bit at a time, a little bit. But I know many people in my life who, when they get so overwhelmed with what step to take, that they just don't take any action step towards anything. They just stay stuck. They just be in this space of, I'm just not going to make a step. But that's actually choosing an action, because you're choosing not to move forward. So what I've loved about Blue Tansy this week is I've actually got so much done. I've used Blue Tansy all week. I've used it on my skin every night, but I've had it in the diffuser, and I've been using it within Deep Blue and Balance as well, in any way I could. And I've had so much done within my business and my life this week. I've gotten so organized, and I've felt really, really inspired by it. And the reason for that is because I'm taking responsibility for my choices and the action I take, and so much more creation, so much more love, so much more productivity comes from when I make a choice or make an action step based on inspiration, based on that I'm inspired to do that next thing, because it's going to get me one step closer to what I'm aiming for, or to what my desires or my dreams are. But that's coming from a space of self-mastery and self-responsibility. So, and it's purposeful. It's like, I know these action steps are going to get me to where I need to be. So instead of staying stuck in things and not living and being in my fullest potential, I'm making those steps. So I would love you to tune in and ask yourself, where am I not taking responsibility for my actions? Where am I not taking responsibility for the choices that I can make that get me step by step closer to my dream, to my dreams, to whatever it is and whatever the form of success is in your life? And success is different to everyone. And to overcome the challenges that we actually place in front of ourselves, the self-sabotage patterns, the tendency to avoid or procrastinate is generally a block of inspired action. So, and it becomes stagnant action, or it becomes the no action. So any form of action that's moving forward in an inspired way is incredible, is potent, is going to transform your circumstances to support you one step closer to where you want to be or where you need to be. But I also want to acknowledge that the most important part of this whole process is to enjoy the journey. So if we're making choices that aren't inspired action towards that, we're missing out on the whole journey. We're missing out on the fun of the actual ride. We're not enjoying the moments to actually receive our full desires in whatever time frame that is. So life is the journey. Life is the inspired action along the way, not to feel inspired with your action at the very end. And I think that's really important to acknowledge, because sometimes I think in a fast-paced world that we live in now, we miss the journey. We miss the moments because people are stuck behind a screen, or they're not looking up, or they're not looking at the clouds, or whatever it may be. That, you know, I encourage you to make choices that feel inspiring for you. And if you have Blue Tansy at home, anchor into the essence of Blue Tansy. She's just beautiful. Oh, it's just so relieving for the body, really soothing for the body, but also it's just got almost an aliveness to it. And that's where the energetic and the emotional properties come in of that inspired action. So yeah, bring in that inspired action to sustain change and to keep moving towards who you truly are, and to live in one with your highest self and your fullest potential. And yeah, that's how my week's been. I've gotten so much done, and I'm so grateful that I was able to anchor into the essence of Blue Tansy this week. Next week, we are moving into the seas, and I will be tuning into cardamom. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I will be sharing a lot of inspo on it next week. But the essence of Blue Tansy, I have shared different scientific benefits, the emotional, the energetic, and the practical benefits on Blue Tansy all through my Facebook page this week. So I would love if you could put some hearts or some likes on this page, and share these if you think they would support anyone who needs any support in feeling inspired in their action steps in their life, to move towards the life that they desire and to journey in that in the most beautiful ways. So happy Friday, beautiful people. I love dropping in for these. Much love, and I will see you all next week. Mwah.